Hey, what's up? It's James E. Walker, man of many hats, artist of many acts, back with a new episode. I know it's been a while. I know a lot of y'all been wondering where I've been, that I stopped doing the jewel drops, but I just want to say, hey man, I apologize for the delay. I had a lot of things come up and life just kind of took a crash course for me, man. So I'm back with the jewel drops, and this topic, man, this is a topic that I've been wanting to touch on for some time, but I just kind of was putting together a chronological order of a lot of topics that I wanted to touch on. And so it's funny with the whole job shaming thing coming up with Mr. Owens, Jeffrey Owens. So I feel like now is probably a good time for me to actually touch on the topic of freelance life versus a 9 to 5. I feel that with me actually having almost 9 years of freelance experience, I'm really in a good place to actually touch on this topic from the inside looking out. One of the things that I always try to do is be honest when people ask me about freelance and what it's like and what made you quit your job and what is your experience like. You know, one of the things that I don't do is sugarcoat the lifestyle. I don't sugarcoat the entrepreneur lifestyle. I never try to make someone who's still working a 9 to 5 feel that I'm any better than them just because I don't work so-called for the man. But for those of you that's been following my journey, you know that I'm always encouraging people to, tap into their calling, to live their dreams, to pursue their dreams, to take a leap of faith. But I also give them, the other side of it, of things to think about before you take that leap, things to be prepared for once you get out here. I always share my story and my journey with people to let them know that it's been a beautiful struggle. Everybody that's been living a freelance life know that it's peaks and valleys. You have your ups and you have your downs. So, it's been times where I've made more money than I've ever made within a day, maybe. It's been times where I've made more money than some people make within a month, but there's also been times where what I made in a month barely equates to what I typically make within a week. And I have to say that during my down periods, during my droughts, during time when work is slow, I have to get creative. I've been fortunate to be in a position to where I've had to do odd jobs, but they just so happen to still be other creative jobs. When my design business work is low, I'm fortunate to be able to go and screen print shirts and to do pop-up shops, maybe make beats or do some type of recording or mixing. There's several skills that I've acquired over time that I still put into play, and I'm still able to benefit from these things. And fortunately, I haven't had to actually go back and get a job outside of the creative field. But like I say, it has been times where I had to do odd jobs just to pay the bills, just to make ends meet. It's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. For those of you that don't know me, man, before I took the leap of faith, I used to drive for Metro. I used to drive the big bus. I did this for 6 years. And before I left Metro, man, I can't even tell you how many jobs I've had. I've did telemarketing. I've did toll road. I've did warehouse work. I've did stocking. I've did grocery stores. I've did meter reading. I've done damn near it all. All these different jobs gave me some type of experience that I can roll into one personality and roll into one skill. The customer service skills that I got just from driving for Metro as a bus operator, I'm picking up all walks of life, by the minute. You never know who you're going to pick up. And I've had so many genuine conversations with people from all around the world that maybe was just traveling and passing through. Learning how to talk and switch up personalities and working on my people skills and my social skills. Those are services that people have to maybe go to school for, but just the opportunity that I got through that was priceless. If you thinking about freelancing, just be prepared. Freelance is not for everyone. like I say, entrepreneurship is for me. It's who I be. I've always had an entrepreneur spirit. I've always just took it upon myself to want to be in control of my own destiny. You know, when I was a kid, I was, selling mixtapes and selling CDs, and I always had like some type of side hustle going on, whether it was me just taking my lawnmower and just going around the neighborhood asking different people if they need their grass cut, man. I was just willing to go out and get it. And where I come from, we took pride in having many jobs like that. For those of you out there that actually have a job, man, be thankful, because it's some people, man, who don't even want to work, and there's been times to where the reality of it is sometimes in my down period, it's been some times, man, where I was just scraping up pennies just to try to get me something to eat. And when you have a kid, it's things to think about more. It's not just yourself. It's when it comes down to making a sacrifice. Sometimes we can make sacrifice ourselves, but when you have a family, when you have a kid, when you have a mortgage, when you have responsibilities like car notes and things of that nature, sometimes you have to get out and do what you got to do. I'm at the drive-thru after I've scraped up what I could scrape up to try to get me something to eat. I can't say that I didn't have those moments when I'm looking at the person in the drive-thru like, you know what, they probably got more money in their account than I do. They probably at least keeping their lights on. They probably at least got a full tank of gas. If I'm at Home Depot trying to scrape up enough to just finish a concept that I'm trying to do art-wise, I can't tell you that I haven't thought twice about, damn, do I want to just fill out an application? Do I want to get a job? Because times have gotten tough. But the reality is, some of the times when I did, consider getting another job, just me holding steadfast, man, and not just giving up on what it is that I've been building. That's usually when things start to get back jumping for me. Even within that 9-year period, there was some downhills to where I actually had to go in. I had to get a painter's job at one time. I was doing faux finishes. Shout out to my good friend Cindy, that was able to help me in that situation to where I was still able to do something creative and still pick up a new skill doing faux finishes and painting, which is still an art form, and it paid pretty well. I remember the same day that my son was born, I got offered a gig at a screen printing shop. It didn't pay much, but at the time I was actually looking for something like an internship just to develop the skill anyway. And I tried it out. I did it for about 8 months, but it was just a lot. It just really wasn't enough for me to really, pay the bills that I needed to. I felt like I could make more money freelancing if I was just totally focused. But man, look, get it how you get it. What's important is that, a lot of times what I realized when I had a regular job, I was able to, fund all of this equipment that you see here. It was pretty much nothing that I couldn't get if I needed it. I loved having that control of knowing, okay, I can pace it out, I can gauge, I can save a little bit, and I can get this, on this paycheck, and then in about 3 or 4 weeks, I know I can budget to get something else that I need. When you're freelancing sometimes, knowing that, your money is up and down sometimes, you have to be a little tighter with your budget. And so those are some of the pros and cons. I hope this helps some of you that are considering going freelance, and some of you that are wondering, should you quit your job to freelance full-time? Look, some of you have skills that you've acquired that it's a craft, it's a trade, it's a skill that you've developed that puts you in a position to be able to do what you love to do. It's not always necessary for you to quit your job to live a creative lifestyle. Sometimes if you're managing your time right, you can still do what you need to do when you get off of that job, and it's all about balance. So if you got a good job, man, hold on to it. But if it's just, you'll know if it's time to leave. If what you're doing, you just hate it and it's just tearing your soul apart to, you dread going to work every single day, and you showing up late and you leaving early, and you have all these ideas, all these innovative ideas that you really want to put into place, then, some of my advice I would say is save you anywhere from about 3 to 6 months income to cover your expenses, cover your overhead. Continue to automatically go ahead and start getting something going with that side business, so that you're not starting off just totally ice cold from leaving your job and then getting out here and trying to figure it out. I would recommend, could I say recommend? I wouldn't suggest that you quit your job and you don't already know what it is that you want to do. So what did I say? Save up 3 to 6 months income. Already have a game plan in motion. Bet on yourself, man. Just be willing. Everybody won't understand your mission for stepping out on faith and doing that. It's not for everybody. One of the key things that I know a lot of people don't expect is what to do with all of this time. If you've been used to working 40, 50 hours a week, and all of a sudden you're just sitting at home with all of this time, 40, 50 hours, you have to be disciplined enough to know, like, okay, I need to be working. I need to be getting stuff done within this block of time. And that was one of the shocks to me when I first started. It's good that I was already disciplined and I already had something going. I hope this information helps, man. That's all I got for today, man. James E. Walker, man of many hats, artist of many acts. Peace. And one more thing before I go, man, I want to say that for those people that are out here job shaming people and trying to make people feel worse, or you're thinking that you're in a better position because someone is working a job that you think is less than, one thing, man, we got to remember, man, is society needs everybody. Society, there's a place for all these jobs out here. Somebody has to be a janitor. Somebody has to be a plumber. Somebody has to be the carpenter, the construction worker, the person that serves you. Somebody has to be a waitress. Somebody has to take pride in opening doors or valet parking. Somebody has to take pride in telemarketing. There's a place in society for everybody, man. And, let the people that have a job that's doing what they're doing, as long as they're still tapping into their calling when they get off of work, because what we fail to realize is your job is just something that pays the bills, that allows you to make a living. But your work is what you was born to do. Your work is what you was put here to do. That's your calling. That's your purpose. And hey, sometimes, man, you gotta just do both.